Hey there, studying for the psychiatric nurse practitioner? Today, it's your lucky day. My name is Dr. Lopez. I am going to cover the most important topics you need to know to pass the psychiatric nurse practitioner board exam. I'll show you how. This is a little piece of our crash course review. You will not regret it. Most likely, you will see content that is very similar to what you will see on your board day. Make sure you write it down, subscribe to our channel, be in the know. Let's do this together right now. MSE, right? When you're doing an MSE, you're looking for delusions, which is a firm's belief despite evidence of the contrary, right? Some believe that family members is part of a cult. That's a delusion. You also have to think about the difference between delusion and paranoia. Delusion is very different than paranoia. Paranoia are those who are people are out to get them, right? How do you conduct an assessment of a preschooler? You observe, you observe, you observe. An MSE for preschool is by observing. You listen and observe for cues in clinical observation. MSE. Several parts of the MSE, you have to be very careful. Okay? Thought process versus thought content. I cannot tell you how many times we lose points on easy questions like this. So, thought process is how the thoughts and ideas are put together. Are they logical, congruent, coherent, goal oriented? Thought process is what you're thinking of. You're thinking of suicidality, homicidality, hallucinations. Okay. Now, process is what is how you're thinking, right? Content is what you're thinking of. So thought process, you gotta know circumstantiality. It goes around and finally answers the question. Like, where'd you go to high school? I went to college in Brooklyn. Then there was a very good time. I married the girl named Anne. Yeah, and I went to high school in New Jersey. Okay. Now, when it comes to tangentiality, I went to school in Brooklyn, and then I traveled the whole United States. I lived in a van, and I married this girl, Annie. So it never went to where'd you go to high school answer. Tangentiality never arrives to the answer. Circumstantiality goes around and give you the answer. So make sure you know thought process, what goes in there. If the question asks you, where do you document suicidality, homicidality, hallucination? Is not in the HPI, is in the thought content portion of the MSE. It may only have MSE as the answer. So that would be the right answer. Dopamine pathways, atypical. How is the atypical different than typical? Antipsychotics. Atypical comes with second generation 5-HT2A antagonism. It may say serotonin antagonism. It may say 5-H2A, which is because of that, you have less dopamine blockade. So you have less EPS, but it comes with few extra pounds, right? Metabolic syndrome. So act as both dopamine and serotonin antagonism are less likely to cause extrapyramidal side effects compared to first generation. So if you have an initial psychiatric breakthrough, you give a atypical antidepressant. What are the antidepressant medications of choice? That can be given IM 3 Invega, Abilify, Geodon. 3 medications that can be given IM atypical. Invega, Abilify, Geodon. Dopamine pathways. There are 4 of them. Mesolimbic. Too much dopamine. Mesocortical. Too little dopamine. Mesocortical responsible for the negative symptoms, right? Mesolimbic responsible for the positive symptoms. So all the words that starts with a ablation and so forth is part of the negative, and that's part of the mesocortical. Now, when it comes to nigrostriatal, you have a fight between dopamine and acetylcholine. And when the acetylcholine is kicking some butts and displacing the dopamine out, you have symptoms of EPS. Okay? So if you have too much acetylcholines, you have extra salivation all over the place. That's what acetylcholine is, too much of it. Tearing eyes, nose, diarrhea, EPS-like symptoms. Okay? One of the EPS is acute dystonia, which is painful muscle neck spasm and can lead to paroxysmia symptoms, akathisia, and so forth. So for everything, you really can give cogentin. Akathisia is better to give propranolol. For TD, you do not give cogentin. You stop the medication and try something else and lower the dose. Everything else you can pretty much give cogentin. If the question asks which the following symptoms are most likely to develop after a patient received a antipsychotics and develop early symptoms of APS, A, B, C, and D, answer TD. Patients that develop early symptoms of dystonia or any other EPS early, they're likely to develop TD later on. Okay. Do not give cogentin to TD patients. Okay. Switch to another antipsychotic. So when it comes to, okay, this is covered, tuberofundibular now. So in the nigrostriatal, dopamine and acetylcholine is fighting. The tuberofundibular, who's fighting? Prolactin and dopamine. When the prolactin is winning, you have symptoms like amenorrhea, galactorrhea, like risperidone, right? Sexual dysfunction and gynecomastia, specifically osteoporosis, dopamine pathway, tuberofundibular, osteoporosis. Okay, very important ones due to the increase of prolactin rate. Hey guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this content today. We went over some high yield content stuff that it is super important that we know that will be on your board certification. You may ask, how do we know? Well, we look at the blueprint. Plus, we have a proof of concept. Over 1,000 students have studied with us and done super well. Stop wasting time. Sign up at www.npexamcoach.com. My name is Dr. Lopez, and I'll teach you how to pass the psychiatric nurse practitioner board examination. See you soon.